In today's lesson, we are going to learn useful sentences, and at the same time, we are going to learn new words, but we are going to learn new words using family words, okay? So it's going to be easier to learn new words at the same time, okay? Because you will be able to associate them. Empecemos. ¿Cómo dices? I want to invest my savings in a new business. Okay, today this verb is going to be the key. Okay, we are going to learn words like to invest or investment or investor. Okay, and we will be able to associate them with the other words in the sentences. Okay, ¿Cómo dices? I want to invest my savings in a new business. I want, you should know this. Yo quiero, ¿cierto? Yo quiero to invest, vamos a decir invertir, ¿ya? Yo quiero invertir, ¿qué cosa? My savings. ¿Cómo dices saving? Mis savings, vas a decir ahorros, ¿ya? Quiero invertir mis ahorros in a new business, ¿cómo lo dices? En, ¿cierto? Business es el negocio, right? So it's going to be en un business, negocio. Remember this word, okay? Negocio. En un negocio nuevo, new, right? If you have any question about the grammar, just let me know, okay? Because I will use different grammar. Continuemos con la oración número 2. You should invest more time in learning new skills. ¿Cómo lo dices? You should invest more time. Ok, eso es muy importante. Should is a conditional verb, so you're going to use ia. If you have any question about the grammar and conjugation, just let me know, okay? I have a playlist when I explain all the things, okay? You should, entonces, deberías, tú deberías, you already know this verb. In Spanish, we don't conjugate the second verb. Deberías invertir, ¿cierto? Deberías invertir more time, más tiempo. Deberías invertir más tiempo en, ¿cierto? Deberías invertir más tiempo en learning new skills. And, okay, here, ing, we're not going to conjugate, okay? Every time you have like in and then a verb plus ing, you don't have to conjugate. So, en aprender new skills, ¿cómo lo dices? ¿Cómo dices skills? It's like abilities. It's kind of similar in Spanish. So, aprender habilidades, ¿ya? Habilidades nuevas. Muy bien. So, deberías invertir más tiempo en aprender habilidades nuevas. Muy bien. Continuemos con nuestra oración número 3. Okay, we already studied the verb to invest, invertir. Now we're going to study, this is the key word here, investment. And also I'm going to show you another concept to learn words, okay? Buying this laptop was a great investment. ¿Cómo dices esto? Buying this laptop was a great investment. Buying, you're going to say comprar. When we start, let's say you speak English, so when you start with this, we don't conjugate this in Spanish, never. Okay, so every time you start a sentence with a verb ing, you don't have to conjugate. Comprar esta laptop, we use the same word, laptop, was a great investment. Okay, aquí va a ser fue. We are using the verb ser. Okay, fue. Okay, this is the concept I want to show you. When you learn this word, for instance, a great investment, investment es inversión, ¿ya? And a great, una gran, because it's feminine, it's la inversión, una gran inversión. So you can learn collocations here. Instead of learning just inversión, you could learn una gran inversión, okay? You can associate words, because, for instance, as you can see here, invertir. invertir mis ahorros. You can learn this. Instead of just invertir, you can learn invertir mis ahorros. Or invertir más tiempo. You know, because in the future, probably, if you use the word invertir, you could say invertir mis ahorros, invertir más tiempo, and so on. I think you got the idea. Siguiente oración. Okay, you already know investment, so we need to consider, ¿cómo dices? We need to consider if this investment is safe. Okay, here you have a safe investment, for instance. Okay, we need to consider, you're going to say, necesitas considerar. Necesitas considerar if es sí, but without accent mark. So si this investment is safe. Okay, si esta, without accent mark, si esta inversión, ¿cómo dice safe? Safe. Es segura. Yeah, so here you could learn, instead of just inversión, una inversión segura. Okay, this is called collocation. ¿Cómo dices my uncle is a successful investor? Okay, here now we have the word investor. ¿Cómo dices? My uncle es mi tío, ¿cierto? Mi tío es, okay, investor. You have two options. Inversor, you could say inversor, but honestly it's more common to say inversionista. So let's use that. Mi tío es un, porque es él, it's masculine, es un inversionista. ¿Ya? Inversionista. This is the word here. And successful, ¿cómo lo dices? Exitoso. So why just learn inversionista if you can learn inversionista exitoso? So let's do that from now on. Exitoso. Bien. So mi tío es un inversionista exitoso. Excelente. Vamos con nuestra oración número 6. The startup is looking for a private investor. ¿Cómo lo dices? Okay, startup, you could say empresa emergente. But honestly, also you could say startup in Spanish. Normally, we don't say empresa emergente. We could say that. That's the direct translation. And it's okay. But normally we are going to use a startup also. Okay. And we are going to understand we are talking about a startup. Okay. So let's say la, porque es la empresa, right? So we are going to say la startup. Okay. Is looking for. To look for, this verb is going to be buscar, okay? All of this is just one word in Spanish, okay? So the startup está buscar, so buscando. Está buscando a private investor. Okay, before we have successful investor, now we have private investor, okay? La startup está buscando un inversionista, and private, it's almost the same word, un inversionista privado, ¿ya? So, la startup está buscando un inversionista privado. Okay, so now we have inversionista exitoso y inversionista privado. Okay, now he has invested all his money already. ¿Cómo lo dices? He has invested all his money already. Okay, here again we have the verb, but you have to conjugate using this grammar. So, ¿cómo lo dices? He has invested. Él, ¿cierto? El ha. How do you conjugate this using this grammar? Again, if you don't know the grammar, remember that I have videos for that. Él ha invertido. Okay, this is the grammar. Él ha invertido all his money already. Okay, I forgot something here. ¿Cómo dices already? We put this before the verbs, okay? So you are going to say él ya. Okay. Él ya ha invertido all his money. ¿Cómo lo dices esto? Todo su y money, dinero. ¿Ya? Entonces, él ya ha invertido todo su dinero. He has invested all his money. Él ya ha invertido todo su dinero. Y vamos con esta oración número 8. Oración número 8. I feel very emotional invested in this project. Okay, this is different. This is more like an adjective. Okay, so you're going to say I feel, yo me siento, because it's a reflexive verb. Yo me siento, ¿cierto? Very, you're going to say muy. Okay, and here we put first the adjective and then the adverb. So, me siento muy. Okay, in this context, invested is going to be involucrado. Involucrado. Okay. I have noticed, like in English, you use a lot this, like I am invested in something. Okay. Involucrado en sería. Me siento muy involucrado. But here I forgot something. Actually, it's correct to say involucrado en, but emotionally. So I forgot that. Me siento muy involucrado. Emotionally is almost the same word. Emocionalmente. Okay, and now we can put en. Okay, involucrado. Me siento muy involucrado emocionalmente en this project. ¿Cómo lo dices? Este proyecto. ¿Ya? This is the first lesson. Okay, if you want to download the PDF, you can join to the channel. And if you want to get the app that I already created and the future apps I'm creating also, I will try to make one app every month. So I'm going to cover all the grammar and a lot of vocabulary. You can join in the level 2 or 3, okay? Of course, this takes time, that's why it's not free. But of course, all my content and stories, they will always be free here on YouTube. Okay, see you in the next video. And if you have any question, just let me know. Bye bye.